This podcast is brought to you by Most Valuable Podcasts, saving your day from boredom with the best podcasting entertainment.
Welcome, nerds. I'm Mark Weber, and you are listening to A Graphic Conversation, the bi-weekly podcast where we read, discuss, and recommend. That's a new thing for this season, so we'll get to it. The best and hopefully not the worst in graphic novels. I am joined, not necessarily as I always am, but first of all by the original man-child, Ricky Widmer.
What's up, guys?
And my fellow man-child, Johnny. Welcome.
How's it going?
Good.
Which is better, being the original man-child or the fellow man-child?
Well, you used to be the fellow man-child, and then you stole my bit.
I get, but
you stole my bit, so now you're the original.
Is the original man-child better than?
Well, I
the
think you
fellow
always
man-child?
want to be the OG.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
I like being the fellow one because less is expected of you.
Yeah,
that's what I want.
Which sometimes you want somebody to take the fall instead of you.
Exactly. That all goes to the OG then.
Exactly, and you can say, well, I mean, I would. It's not me. It's all you.
Yeah. It's all.
So. As I said, welcome back, because this is a really, really good welcome back, because it's a new season of A Graphic Conversation.
Welcome a week early.
Welcome a week early, potentially on Patreon. That's a perfect segue into the housekeeping of Most Valuable Podcasts. Head to mostvaluablepodcast.com. You can go do awesome things like, hey, check out where you can buy a Most Valuable Podcast t-shirt. You can also go to patreon.com/Most Valuable Podcast, where you can get this podcast a week early always. You also get an exclusive extra podcast, and you can do other things like call into podcasts. Beyond that, too, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, leave comments down below, and don't forget, if you're on iTunes, give us a 5-star review. That's awesome, because it helps other people find the podcast and know that, yes, I should listen to this because this person enjoys it. So what we always do is we read, discuss, and we recommend. We're no longer reviewing, although I'm sure that on this season I will mess that up multiple times. But we recommend whether you should read it or not. And this time we did Infinity Gauntlet issues 1 through 6. And obviously we're doing it because there's a certain big Infinity War movie that's coming out.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
And it's, I guess, a big event in Marvel land, Marvel world. I mean, this is a long time ago that this thing came out. 1991. I was born in 1991, so
I was 1 year old when this came out. Well, a year and a half when this came out.
There you go.
Approximately a year.
So we're all old, I guess, is what's happening right now. But the way this works, we're gonna have a spoiler-free section where we're gonna talk a little bit, and then we'll get into the spoiler zone because I know there's some good stuff to talk about with this, and a lot of spoilery things to talk about with this. We're not really going to talk a ton about the movie, but I'm sure the movie will come up a little bit. The movie has not come out yet, so we haven't seen it yet. But let me just tell you a little bit about this graphic novel, just in case you're interested in it and you want to read it as well. So it's the Infinity Gauntlet. Thanos is not dead. He is here, and he is not queer, but he wants you to get used to his being here because he's going to kill everybody. So
I was wondering where you were going with that.
When you say, someone is here, you have to roll with it. It just rolls off the tongue.
And we're going to get used to it, right?
Well, you're going to get used to him, otherwise it's going to kill you. And he's got his Infinity Gauntlet, so he is going to, essentially be a god. And there's not too much else I really can say without it becoming spoilery, so I'm going to leave a little bit of that off. First things first, let's go and say expectations coming in. Johnny, you're the guest here today. What are your expectations? Did you ever read this before?
Before this? No, I did not.
What were your expectations coming into reading this?
You know what? Some of them were met. I don't want to say hype, but the amount of characters used in this, I did expect that. So, I mean, that was met. I was thinking a lot more. I'm trying to think how to put this. I'm trying to think how to put this without spoiling it.
Yeah. That's the tough part. Ask Ricky.
I don't know what he's talking about.
No, I'm just saying that you struggle at not spoiling things.
I struggle all the time, even in our movie reviews, with not spoiling anything.
Yeah, I have to like kind of keep you in check once in a while. But what I'm trying to say is like there's a lot of things that I would have expected out of it that were like more to use the, let's put it this way, more of use of the Infinity Gauntlet itself than kind of backhanded uses of it. Mm-hmm. That's what That's what I was more expecting.
Mm-hmm. Ricky?
I was expecting almost what we were, so it's kind of almost like what we're seeing with the movie trailers is I thought this was going to be more the Avengers versus Thanos and how do they stop it. Not necessarily what we got. Yeah. And that's where I'm going to leave it because I don't want to spoil anything. Well, I thought there would be a lot more meaningful action, not just non-meaningful action.
Yeah,
that's what I was
I definitely expected more action as well. It's very split in two of this setup. We're getting there. Don't worry, we're going to get there. I swear we're going to be there. And then there's a bunch of action that happens.
The dragons are coming.
Exactly.
It's legend.
One season.
Wait for it. Oh, wait, we forgot Derry.
Yeah, exactly. Some season there's going to be dragons. And it's just... It's interesting.
We finally made the spirit ball.
Yeah.
Oh, a spirit bomb? Spirit bomb.
That's like a whole week's worth of Dragon Ball Z right there. Yeah. Just waiting. And then everybody at home, put your hands up too. Anyways. So yeah, I definitely kind of expected that. I think I did expect it to be very... like everybody who could possibly be involved. They still kind of exceeded those expectations with getting everybody involved. All of a sudden Batman's there and you're like, what the fuck? But that doesn't happen. But anyways, you know, some of that.
Is that a Cloak? Are you making fun of Cloak when you said that?
No, I'm not making fun of Cloak. I just wanted...
there.
Okay, I was just,
everyone else is in it
because Cloak is the only one in this that is like the closest to Batman.
Everyone else is in it. I wouldn't have been surprised if Superman flies in. It's like, I hear you guys need some help.
Which I will be honest. I don't care if this is a spoiler or not. I'm going to say it. Is after reading Cloak in this, I actually want to watch the Cloak and Dagger.
Oh,
TV
now
series
you
want to
watch it.
It got me into it just by seeing them.
Good. I'm glad. And that was a real... we're not going to get into it.
No, I suggest it, but when he reads something...
We're in spoiler-free zone.
Very short about it.
Yeah. So, okay, those are some of the expectations coming in. Who do you think this is for? Ricky, we'll go to you this time.
Marvel. This is for Marvel. Marvel fans and superhero fans. If you're not into the superhero genre, you're not a Marvel fan, you might not enjoy this as much.
So if you've not read much... Let's say you're a person who reads DC. Can you come into this?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Like, I'm a DC guy, but I like a little bit of Marvel. I liked it just the same. Like, I'll get into that at the end, but I wasn't completely lost with it, no.
Johnny, did he miss anything?
No, I mean, people, like, Marvel fans, superhero fans, anyone who likes a lot of build-up, because I don't know if you guys want to argue with me on this, but there was a lot of build-up.
There was a ton of build-up.
The first two...
I'm going to get into it with spoiler mode, but I mean, I hated that, where it was like, wait for it.
I'm not even just talking about that specific part.
All right.
Okay, we're going to do this. Now we're going to do this. Okay, no, wait, we need to do this. And then this needs to happen first.
I'm not even halfway done yet.
The perspective switched a lot where it was like, this guy is our perspective. Now in this issue, it's this. And that threw me off quite a bit. Because I was like, at the very beginning, I'm like, I don't really know. Oh, it's this one. Oh, wait, no, it's not that superhero. It's this superhero. And then I figured out that like, oh, it's just switching.
See, my preference would have been if they went with like a Civil War style and to spoil this one. Because if they did it like book by book, like there's a Black Panther one, there's a Wolverine one, there's a Captain America, there's an Iron Man, and it's mostly just their story. I would prefer if maybe they like section it off that way. Then I'm like, okay, I'm all caught up now, not like jumping around each person's story.
Yeah. There
but
was
at the same time, I get
of
how they did that, I guess, because they did it in only 6 issues.
And there are other stuff to Infinity Gauntlet that's not in this too. So I mean, there's other stuff out there. They have an omnibus which you can just read everything. So if you really want it, if you're really into Infinity Gauntlet, you can do that. I found it interesting because I was expecting more of this to be like, you know, I hate to use the DC connection, but I was expecting this to be like Flashpoint, We're like, this is a huge event that changes a lot.
But
you know,
it kind of changes a lot.
and
It says it changes a lot, but you really don't dive into how much it changes a lot.
yeah, and I really think that too when you get down to it, and we're going to talk about spoilers pretty soon. Don't worry. Is at the end I was like, well, did it really change much? You know, and I feel like this was, and not even just that within the universe, but I felt like this was supposed to be such a huge event. I asked you guys before we hit record, like, is this really something that people have been waiting their entire lives for? This movie coming out.
Yes.
A long time, yeah.
But the movie is going to be not
But you're
vastly-
saying people are waiting their entire lives because of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Entire lives.
No, not the entire life until like 2008.
Yeah, exactly.
Starting in 2008.
People have,
Which feels
starting
like our
since
entire
Iron
life.
Man 1,
Yeah.
people have been waiting for this movie.
Yes.
Essentially.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like the hype right now, and we're diving into the movie a little bit, is that people are saying this is the biggest thing that will ever happen.
Yes.
Potentially, yeah. I mean,
For right now, yes.
you have all the Avengers, the Guardians of
But
the Galaxy.
hold on, I'm not talking about the movie. I'm talking about
Yeah. Oh, this, yeah.
I'm talking about people saying this event when it translates to the movie, not just because we have all these characters here, but this event itself is getting so hyped up to where I feel
Because
like
of the movie, not because of the comic.
exactly. That's what I'm trying to get
That's what
to.
I'm saying. Is
Yeah.
It's because of the movie. The reason I'll hype it right now is because of the movie. Is because of the movie. It's not because of Infinity. It's not because of Infinity War. It's not because of Infinity Gauntlet. It's because of the movie coming out. And which that part is because of the mass amount of characters in one movie.
Yeah, which is funny that people are getting so excited about that because that's also one of the major critiques to Marvel movies right now is that they're too full of characters. But we're gonna, I'm sure, talk about that. So what I'll do? Go ahead,
Last
Ricky.
thing I wanted to find this article. I found this today. This is the last thing I'll mention about the movie. Maybe. Infinity War outselling the last 7 MCU movies combined.
I mean, I'm not surprised. If you're an Iron Man fan, he's there. If you're a Captain America fan, he's there. The only people that aren't there are the X-Men.
It's going to absolutely kill the box office.
I know this is more on your guys' podcast,
It's all
Rick and
the same
Johnny
thing. It's all the
podcast. You
same
guys
thing.
should check that out. But I just want Marvel to have X-Men so badly.
We're close.
Hopefully, we're getting
close.
there. The dealings need to be done. That's
Maybe 2020.
Just make it happen. I mean, I love the X-Men are my favorite thing with Marvel. So just make it happen. Just make it happen. But anyways, we're about to enter a very scary area called the spoiler zone. So if you have not read it, that's okay. You don't have to read it. You can just be a part of the conversation and enjoy. If you do want to read it though, don't hit pause now, but do it in just a little bit. I will tell you when. Do it. We all kind of agree that you should read it, right? Like,
Yes.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll get into more specific things in a little bit.
I was jamming out to the spoiler zone.
The spoiler zone starts now. So welcome back to spoiler zone. I mean, if you hit pause, unpause, I hope by now. If you've read it, welcome. If you're not gonna read it, that's fine. It doesn't matter. Just be here for the conversation. So let's dive right in. We talked a lot about the build up, and I think we got to dive into that because it starts slowly.
Yes.
Very slowly.
I didn't mind the build up at the beginning because
But just the fact that it keeps going.
And that's the thing. Like at the beginning, the first issue, I'm like, okay, I don't mind it because it's telling me about Thanos. It's giving me a little bit about.
And it's interesting.
I knew this coming in, but like how he's infatuated with death.
Yeah.
And with Lady Death, and like it says all that, but it got to a point where it got very annoying when, like I said, I was expecting high action.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting Adam Warlock to say, hey guys, it's okay, I got a plan. I'm okay, I got a plan. Oh, the Avengers are fighting him? Silver Surfer. Are they supposed to win? Oh no, they're supposed to lose.
They're supposed to die.
They are gonna lose. But then these guys are gonna come in. Are they supposed to win? Oh no, they're not supposed to win. Just wait for it, Silver Surfer. You gotta wait for it because it's a big payoff.
Right. What's Madam Web? Right.
Yes.
Why don't we just have her come in and be like, so you see the future? What's gonna happen?
Yeah.
Like that's
Because only Peter Parker gets to talk to her. Yeesh.
Yeah, I mean,
if you don't have spider powers, you don't talk to Madam Web.
He wasn't dead. He's alive. Why didn't Adam Warlock go talk to him?
People are disappearing. Oh, Mary Jane. He just goes off. And then I'm like, well, is she dead? Is she
we
dead?
didn't answer
We don't know.
that.
Until she came back.
I forgot about that.
Until she came back.
If we learned anything from Spider Island, it's that she can survive anything.
Yes, she can.
And
Ooh.
I
was not there for that one.
You were not. Spider Island. You really should read it. It's a great. We both own it, so
Yes.
yeah, we'll give it to you. It's fantastic, and if you're here, you should read it. And you can't check out that episode.
That's like a lost episode.
I know where it is. I know where that
It's on
episode
your
is.
computer?
It's a blacklisted episode. You can't find it because of the things that are talked about on that one.
Maybe one day if we get like enough patrons, maybe
We'll put it
in
as
the
a
future,
Patreon
maybe
podcast.
in the future we'll release it as
Maybe.
a Patreon podcast.
That'd be fun.
If we get to like a certain goal.
Yeah,
that'd be
it's
fun.
really great. You should. It's probably one of my favorite graphic novels.
This is the best prequel episode we ever had.
But anyways, Mary Jane. So yeah, it's not even that necessarily because at least there's things happening with that. And even though I think I don't really like the idea of Warlock being like, well, I know what's going to happen. We just have to sit and wait for it to happen. Like that kind of bugs me.
he was playing the long play.
Yeah, but it kind of bugs me because then I'm sitting there going, then what's the point? If you know what's going to happen, none of this is relevant. None of this matters. Nothing that happens is going to affect anything.
Here's a small part I didn't like with it, and it was the whole thing.
I just don't like time stuff.
Well, yeah, you
general.
hate time loops and shit.
Yeah.
But the thing that I didn't like was the whole thing with Gamora, Pip the Troll, and Adam Warlock. To where I get why you did it. It gave us Adam Warlock. Because, like, Pip the Troll, like, ooh, look at me. Oh, you're looking green. Oh, no, she's dead. Where is she? Oh, you're a cocoon.
Yeah.
Great, you're a cocoon.
To where I was like,
right.
when we got to that, I was like, so that's Adam Warlock. He's the only one I know that cocoons in this universe.
And here's the thing with that, too. That's kind of part of the reason why I asked if somebody who doesn't read Marvel can come into this.
Yes.
Because so many of those little things are, if you don't get it, you're lost.
Well, to me, it's like, I mean, you could overlook that because...
But there's never an explanation of who those three people were.
That's why.
No.
You don't
So
need,
it's just
honestly,
confusing.
In
I
this
didn't
one,
know.
You don't need an explanation of it because
No,
they don't
you don't.
really...
They eventually say-
Gamora and Pip aren't even relevant.
But here's
till
the thing,
end.
though. If you're someone who doesn't read it, I mean, when it comes to Adam Warlock, we all know if there's a cocoon, it's going to be him. We probably assume if there's a green character, it's probably Gamora.
Yeah.
But
or She-Hulk.
yeah, that's true. Could be She-Hulk. That didn't cross my mind.
Didn't cross my mind until I saw She-Hulk.
But like, and you're like, what's going on? But if you're somebody who has not read Marvel or has not read maybe you're just an X-Men fan. You know, you sit there and you're like, who are these three people? It's never explained. And you get to the end, you're like, whatever happened with those three people? That one of them disappeared.
That's exactly what it was.
Doesn't matter because they died at just 3 random bodies that were needed.
Kind of, yeah.
That too, it was like, oh, so these are just 3 random dead bodies that were only put in the story because we needed 3 random dead bodies.
Yeah, because it did that like little 2-page thing. I'm like,
And you thought,
okay,
like, are
what
they
was that
important?
about?
Yeah.
That's
Are
what
these
I was thinking.
important
I'm
people?
like,
I mean,
oh,
I guess
these-
so.
I mean, it had to be something for Adam Warlock to get into this realm, so it is important, but that wasn't nicely explained.
Well, and you know what else I would have liked to see? The whole thing with, like, Doctor Doom, where it's like, he only stuck around to get his hands on the gauntlet.
Yeah.
I would have liked to see that little played with more than, like, oh, here's my true intent, and oh, I didn't get the gauntlet.
I agree, but at the same time, I really like Doctor Doom joining their side. And at first being like, no, I'm not that interested. Oh, okay, fine, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, I like that because I like the villain.
You knew he was up to
participating.
no good, though.
Yeah. Well, it reminds me of a different thing that we've read with Deadpool killing the Marvel Universe.
Yes.
And Doctor Doom is not a good guy, but like he's one of the only people who can maybe help us out here.
Yeah.
You know, I won't spoil what happens with him, but it's just one of those type of things. Actually, that brings up a good point. Where is Deadpool during this?
I think was Deadpool technically around in 91?
Let's just put it this way. Maybe he was, even if he wasn't, I mean...
I mean,
Yeah, he could
he
be
was
one
chosen.
of the,
although
he
he
could
wasn't
be one
shown,
of the guys.
but you're right. He might not have existed yet, maybe.
Yeah.
But like that's just one of those things where I always feel like in the Marvel universe, it's like there's so many of these people with so many tremendous powers. Deadpool would have killed Thanos.
Yeah, Deadpool made his first appearance in the New Mutants in February of '91.
All right, so
it was right like a half a year before.
No matter
this
what, he
came
was
out.
too new.
Yeah, he was probably too new for them to want to use him.
Yeah.
Although he would have ended it really quickly. But anyways, okay, so we talked a lot about like the build up stuff and the action. Do we like the action though? The action was good.
Yeah, the action was good. I was expecting a little more, but
I was too.
Like the action was good, but because of the story and because of the wait for it, it didn't really mean anything. And that's what took like it was great to see the action, like seeing the Avengers fighting Thanos. But because it was basically, are they supposed to win? Oh no, they're probably gonna die.
they're just pawns in the chess game.
Exactly. And I was like, well, now I'm uninterested in any action because I know you are going to die and it'll just get reversed when Adam Warlock gets his hand on the gauntlet.
Do we feel like that might be something that's going to happen with the movie? Where, like, it's going to be this, everybody's going to go in and all these people are going to die, but in the end, it's not going to matter. We're going to go and reverse this stuff anyways.
I have a fear of that. I want whoever dies in the movie to stay dead.
Because Adam Warlock... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, that's right. What I was thinking what the movie's going to happen is, we discussed it on one of the podcasts, actually. So, people may die, but there's only going to be, like... Because there's a 2-part movie. They're going to have another one like a year later.
Yeah.
And what's going to be is, even if they fix the timeline, that one person's not coming back.
I can see that.
That's what I think. Because they're trying to make this. They're actually trying to make the stakes matter now.
I hope so, because, they need something to spice up those movies.
Besides the only Iron Man's villains dying.
Exactly. I really wonder if... and what I can see happen, because Adam Warlock is not here, I shouldn't say I wonder, this is what I see happening, is if Doctor Strange kind of takes over the Adam Warlock kind of part to it.
In some senses, possibly, yeah.
Yeah, because, I mean, their powers aren't the same, but they have similar things that they can do, I guess. To where if maybe he does something, because I feel like Benedict Cumberbatch is a little... above a lot of, and maybe I'm wrong on this, but I feel like his actor star is a little above what a lot of the other people were
outside
when they came in.
Outside of the MCU.
Yeah, outside of that. I feel like he is the more, besides like Robert Downey Jr. and maybe Scarlett Johansson, he was a little bit higher in the Hollywood star. So where I feel like maybe that's a good way to save money.
And like, I mean...
And Doctor Strange, even though the movie was fucking awesome, Doctor Strange really isn't that popular of a character anyways.
Doctor Strange,
get away with getting rid of
even
him.
in this one, plays...
Takes a back seat.
Well...
But at the beginning, he was like, he was very prevalent.
At
Not the beginning. No, like
doesn't.
when everything was actually starting to happen, all the fighting, all the, like, hey, let's start the plan now, guys. He took a very back seat. Okay, I'm going to stay here on Earth. I'm going to keep... tallies on everyone. I'm going to make sure this portal stays open, yada, yada, yada. It's like, but you're probably one of the most powerful
right? You should be someone that is going
one
at
of the most Earth, at least on Earth, you're one of the most powerful characters for the Marvel Universe.
His whole thing was, I understood that part of it, though, because if the shit hit the fan, which... part of me was pull him back out, but did Adam Warlock ever intend to pull them back out?
No, he did not.
He didn't. The thing that was really like a, oh shit kind of a moment for me is when Adam Warlock and Silver Surfer are meeting with the cosmic entities. You've got the Watcher, the Living Tribunal, Love and Hate are there. You've got Galactus is there as well. Yeah. And when Eternity is talking to the Living Tribunal, and the Living Tribunal goes, I have considered that matter and cannot concur. And so the Living Tribunal stands present at Eternity's request to hear his case. Thanos only stows to replace your importance with the universe with his own. Therefore, he is not committed. There's no like cosmic crime committed. And he goes, I'm out. There's no crime committed. I'm out of here. Goodbye. My thought immediately was, I wonder what you guys thought of that. Because in your mind, did Thanos commit a cosmic crime?
I think he would, because they're saying that So he made himself a god, and they're sitting there saying he doesn't deserve the power. And to me, doesn't that kind of...
But the one line that made me think, like, oh, crap, was when the Living Tribunal goes, natural selection is one of the universe's oldest canons. The strongest replace the weak. It is as it should be. No cosmic crime is committed. Where I'm like, technically, you're right. Like, Thanos did what he did. He is now the strongest. Natural selection. The strong take out the weak. But is it fair? No, it's not fair.
It's not fair, but neither is life.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
that's why I get his reasoning, his logic behind it. Because it's like, no, I'm not here to tell you guys. I'm not here to pick a side.
Yeah.
I'm here to say, in the scheme of everything that exists, survival of the fittest. Thanos collected the Infinity Stones. He got it all together. He's doing what he wants to with what he earned.
He did the legwork, basically.
Yeah, in a sense, he did the legwork.
But the flip side of it is they say later that he doesn't deserve the power.
Yeah.
The Tribunal does, though, or the rest of them?
Was it the Tribunal, or... I don't remember because there's so many cosmic things going on.
The Tribunal
in different gods.
was the yellow one that said he has not committed a cosmic crime, I'm gone, and he left.
I don't remember exactly who it was, but at one point... when there's all these cosmic meetings and stuff, it's agreed that he doesn't deserve the power.
Yeah.
Same people that agree that Adam Warlock doesn't deserve the power are saying that he doesn't deserve it, so he can't keep it.
Yeah, because Eternity says the Mad Titan seeks to unbalance that which is, throw the nature of the universe into maniacal entropy. So basically, he's only causing chaos. We should take it away. That's why he doesn't deserve it. Another one that I know he's a character that this is his job, but like, what do you guys think that was really present here of like the Watcher, where it's like, hey man, I can't get involved. I just gotta watch.
Well, I like the Watcher. I really do actually, because I like that whole.
But like, how hard of a thing is that? Where it's like, hey, I could help. I could probably stop this, but nope, I got to watch and record.
Yeah.
Watch and record.
Although I always, if you've watched Fringe ever, for those like 10 people that used to watch Fringe on Fox, you don't trust those people that just observe.
Yeah.
They're observing for some reason. Don't trust them. Eventually, last season of the show, they make their intentions known.
They must suck horribly, though, like you said, because just to have to watch and not be like, you vowed to never meddle in any of it. You just have to watch, record, and go, well, that's horrible. Like with this Scarlet Witch specifically, he's like they didn't even show like the scene because like he's basically like, I actually looked away. I'm the Watcher and I looked away.
I think when it comes to this, one thing I really did like, to move back to the beginning, I like that this is not just a Thanos is a villain, therefore Thanos wants to kill. That's why it's happening. We go fight Thanos. I am glad that it has a little bit of... Do I think it's a little silly that he's just like, I love death. I'm going to prove it. It didn't work. I'm going to prove it even more. It still didn't work. I'm going to prove it even more. You know, I think it's like, all right,
oh, I'm going to try to make you jealous. Here, I created somebody
But I
to
actually
be
thought
my
that
wife.
was kind of funny. What, Thraxia or whatever her name was?
And then
terrible.
And then it looked like she was actually getting jealous of him because he wasn't really liking her. He was just trying to make Lady Death jealous.
So I think it's like, one thing I like about it is there's an actual reason why Thanos is doing this.
Yeah.
Is the reason a little silly? It's just for love, essentially. But it is kind of funny that it's a different way of looking
we've
at
all
it.
been here.
Yeah,
We've
who has
all been
impined-
here
Would
as guys.
you destroy the world for love is what the question
Of course.
is being asked.
Me, I would not, but that's just me personally.
What are
Fine,
the stakes?
I'll do it myself.
what are the Fine, I'll do it myself.
And that's really what it comes down to. I mean, it's like I said, it's a little silly, but these are 1990s comics.
And another thing that just hit me was they're like, oh, when he moves like the planets and stuff to spell out his name. When they're like, oh no, we're getting another ice age. Part of me, my first thought halfway through that was like, all right, I wonder how long that ice age has taken and if everyone's dead by now. But then I thought 2 seconds later, it doesn't matter. It's all going to get reversed.
Yeah. It's true.
Just don't worry what's going on Earth because it's not going to matter.
sometimes things like this happen, and like you're just like, you think of a different book or something like that, or a different movie that does a better job at it. But like you talk about like moving a planet and having the Ice Age. If anyone's a Brandon Sanderson fan out there and have read Mistborn, this is a big Mistborn spoiler that's about to happen right now. But it's really not that important. But they have someone gets really, really powerful to where they can do things like that. They can move a planet. But moving a planet, people are dying right now, because you just moved it too far away and now it's super cold. Now you moved it too close and now everybody's burning to death. So you talk about that Ice Age, those people would be dead in an instant.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Here's one part I did like, and it kind of shows into the Spider-Man character and kind of bringing the movie back in. I hope we kind of see this. Is like the scene with like Cloak and Spider-Man, where he's like, Cloak is like, I wonder if I should be here or not. And he's like, dude, like, you know what? You're here with Captain America. You're here with Iron Man. Hey, man, these guys put on their tights one leg at a time, just like you.
Yep.
Just like me. They put them on one leg at a time. And then he turns away and goes, holy crap, I wish I was as confident as I sound right now. Because I am I am scared shitless.
I'm gonna piss my pants.
I am scared shitless.
I have to say this now because now you're both doing it. You can just take the headphones and put them back on the table.
I like
you're kind of both wearing them on your necks.
It's like a hat.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
It's like a hat with a
take it
string.
off.
You just pull it back and let
for our
string do
audio
it.
listeners are like, what are you talking about?
They both have it
wearing
around their
headphones
necks.
around our necks. And,
Yeah.
And
then
Ricky's got it like
draped
on
the
his
back.
chin and stuff
I do
like
that.
that.
I put it
yeah,
on
you
the
do.
chin.
I've been watching. So we talked a lot about this and various things here. So I'm going to get to an important question.
I can tell it annoys you, which is funny.
Because you're just moving it around on your face, and I'm like, you look dumb. But anyways.
Maybe I forgot the camera was there.
Yeah, right?
Anyone else? One quick thing I want to interject with. Anyone notice that
I'm crying.
Thor bested Thanos twice to 3 times and somehow still lost?
Because he's
bested
not
him.
meant to win.
So
Exactly,
he
but still.
He bested him at the end by hitting him with the hammer.
Yeah, there was
What
the
other time?
There was another time where he had Thanos he's about to do the final blow over his head, and then something switched. I'm going to snap like that a lot tonight.
Because
Thanos can do whatever the hell he wants.
Exactly. It's just damn, if you went for that Infinity Gauntlet, you would be dead right. Your head would be smashed in.
Well, it's like the one where Namor's flying like Superman.
Uh-huh.
Iron Man hit him with a repulsor. Fire-Lord hit him with a ray. And
Thor's hammer. Mjolnir.
And Thanos goes, I'm going to move out of the way.
Well,
and
isn't
then
that...
starts time.
I mean,
Pause.
that's one of those things with this where... I mean, I do like that, whatever his name is, the devil.
Mephisto.
Mephisto, who is trying to manipulate him and trying to trick him because he's like, I'm going to get that Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah.
I like that part
was
a lot.
neat.
Everyone wanted
That's a
it.
nice play.
But I like the fact that this is happening because they actually gave a reason. Because you walk into this and you're like, he's a god. There's no reason why he should lose.
Yeah.
It's just that simple. But he's going to lose at the end because it's a comic book. But I like that at least they give some reasons. He's saying that, it's not a fair fight unless you don't use the full power. So you better not. Okay, fine, I'll do it. That's the only way you're going to impress Death is if you do it without some of these powers.
Because he's trying to get him to... Because the only way he could surprise him is if Thanos turns down the power and, I can't see what's coming.
Yeah.
I can be surprised.
See, that's maybe when he should have stepped in, not way later when he was fighting the entities and brought all his powers back.
Because that's one of those things where if everybody comes at him and he's got the powers on him, then it's just, I win, guys. Sorry, because I decided I won. But let's get to something quickly here. Let's talk about favorite moment, least favorite moment. Do either one of you guys want to start?
Go ahead, Johnny.
I knew that was going to happen. Johnny points to Ricky. Ricky says, no, I'll go if you want me to go first, if you guys want a moment.
I need a moment to think about what my
I'll
favorite
go
was.
first. Like, my least favorite moment, I will say, is it's a tie for 2 of them. It's either the Pip, Gamora, and Adam Warlock stuff, because it was pointless to me. I get that it'll probably play something in Infinity War or a later comic, but it didn't pay off right now. The other one's the ending. I don't know how I feel. Like, I get it. You're not going to kill off Thanos, but the whole thing of, you saw him explode? No, you didn't. Lives in the Soul Stone. I'm like,
he's a farmer.
I'm like, what a freaking cop out.
And he's like, no, I'm done trying to do that now.
Sure
I'm
you
just
are.
going to farm.
Sure you are.
You're
Sure
done
you
trying
are.
to do that until you decide you're not done
Yeah,
trying to do it.
exactly. Whereas my favorite part has to be like, I don't really like. I would say my favorite part's the beginning, just because you get all the backstory of Thanos, and it was actually interesting. I want to say the action, but I can't because it was pointless. Because anything that happened changed.
Johnny?
I agree with the my worst one was the cop out of the ending. If he exploded, just let him explode, because guess what? Lady Death brought him back in the first place from death, so why couldn't she again if we wanted to bring him back? Or why couldn't some other thing bring him back? Like, I don't know, creating life with the Infinity Gauntlet? So if we want Thanos back in another comic later on, there's many other ways to do it besides, hey, he's a farmer now inside the Soul Stone.
Plus they're comic books. I mean, you can just bring people back whenever
Exactly.
you want.
You know what I forgot?
Huh.
How badass of Thanos was it to basically, oh, Cyclops, you're going to shoot at me? Up, your head's in a box.
Yeah.
Try to shoot at me now. And basically like a, holy crap, I'm not even like, the thing that I would do to change that, I wouldn't have had him suffocate. I would put him in a box but make it mirrors. He shoots the ray, it shoots right back at him. He basically melts his face.
There you go.
Oh, man, that's brutal, but yeah.
We're getting to Deadpool land here.
Exactly.
Deadpool kills
Like
the
that's
Marvel
what
Universe.
I thought of.
I would
when
think
was, like, in the
Thanos would do
box.
something like that,
I
though.
know though, right? Have like
I would think that.
a mirror
Here's
box.
a prism box that should bounce
Yeah.
it right back at you.
Johnny, did you say a favorite?
My favorite, kind of tied between, like, one's a hair lower than the other. So I agree with Ricky on the whole, like, backstory to Thanos. So you get to see the love interest instead of just, I want to kill everyone in the universe. But how twisted he is, like, what he's done to his own, to him supposed grandchild.
Yeah.
But just how twisted
Yeah, we didn't
he
talk
is
about
just,
Nebula at all.
just to do that, to warp someone to right between life and death. And my second one is honestly the meeting with all the entities of the cosmics, and because I can get like where the Living Tribunal comes from with his reasoning, and then just hearing how what everyone in the of a cosmic entity thinks about this scenario.
I got another one that I didn't like. And it's only because flipping through, I just saw it. I totally didn't. I get why they did it to progress the story, but when the whole like wait for it.
Yeah.
Finally, when Adam Warlock goes, now Silver Surfer, he goes through and whiff. I missed it. I had one job.
Yep.
And I missed the gauntlet. I get it. You probably wanted him to whiff, but I was like, really?
The whole time?
Really?
He was like, Silver Surfer's not even part of the plan. I just thought that'd be fun. I would have to say, one of the things, you mentioned the tribunal and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think it's funny, and I harp on Marvel all the time for this type of stuff, but they have all the gods that are meeting in Asgard.
All of them, yeah.
They're just Earth gods. There's no other gods anywhere else. No other planet in this entire universe, because we established there's life everywhere.
Yeah.
None of them have gods.
No, they don't. They're a bunch of godless heathens.
Right? Do they not have souls? Like,
Speaking of Asgard, though, you popped this into my head. It was interesting to when Thanos snapped to see Asgard of like, oh crap, half the people are dead, everything is crumbling, the Rainbow Bridge is broken, we have no way of getting to Midgard. We're basically trapped here.
Those second two ones, the crumbling and the bridge, were when Thanos had his little tantrum.
Exactly.
It made
but
that sun explode
but
from
it's like,
the snap.
holy crap, we have no way out of here.
Yeah.
but
we have no
one thing that I
Rainbow
think
Bridge.
is weird, though, too, is like, I know Thanos is now a god, but he's fighting other gods. Typically, in a lot of like mythology and stuff like that, sure, gods beat
equal
each other,
gods.
but yeah, a lot of times it's they equal each other. You can't beat the other god.
Kind of
you are
like
gods.
in DC with the new gods and the old gods.
Yeah, it's the the immovable object, with the whatever force.
Unstoppable.
Unstoppable force. There you go. You have this. They equal each other. But it's interesting that he is just defeating all gods. But anyways, my least favorite thing, I think it really has to come down to, very simply, they introduce 3 characters. They don't explain anything about it. And if you don't know...
Is that the Pip Gamora?
Yeah. If you do not... Like, it's a thing where... If you are not a Marvel Comics fan, and I'm saying a super fan of Marvel Comics, there are all these things that happen, and you don't you don't
No.
get it. I wouldn't call myself a super fan of Marvel Comics. I feel like I know enough to where I caught most of these things.
Yeah.
But I know there's things that I missed.
Well, I'm in the same boat.
I'll
I'm
be
more
fair-
of a DC guy.
I'll be fairly honest. I didn't know. They said, oh, this is Pip when he finally started transforming more. So the other one they said, the Zen Warlock. They didn't mention who the girl was. I didn't know it was Gamora.
I had a feeling it was Gamora. 'cause
So
she was
I'm like,
green.
oh, she's turning green. Okay.
Yeah.
I have no idea who this is still.
I would say that's probably a least favorite. The other thing that might be a least favorite to me, I mean, pretty similar to you guys, really when you just go and you're like, well, I already know what's going to happen, so none of this fight matters. And then at the end, we're just going to go back in time anyways and just undo everything, so nothing matters. If you really get to a point where you're reading and going, all right, well, fuck me then, right? But anyways, my favorite thing really
it
comes down
doesn't
to one
really
of two
matter.
things. One, it's either all the kind of, I guess they tie into each other. It's the fact that everybody's trying to go for this gauntlet. So there's people trying to kind of trick each other, and there's the, even though it's a little silly of, now they got, now Nebula's got the gauntlet. Now we've got the gauntlet, whatever with that. But I do like that, really when it comes down to it, everyone is just trying to get that gauntlet. And I know in that movie, eventually, it might not be this one, maybe it'll be the next one, we are going to have a scene of people just trying to get that gauntlet. And, different people are probably going to end up with it at different times. But you know what's going to happen. It's got to happen. Really quickly, before we get into the end, I'm going to put it out there again for any fans of A Graphic Conversation. We are no longer doing the 5-star review for our things. We are just simply going to give a recommendation. So we'll just kind of go around the table, but we'll start guest first. Johnny, would you recommend this? What's your, I guess, it's kind of a, should people read this? Should they drop everything? Should they not read it? What's your recommendation?
I mean, we all know at this table at least that I have a Marvel bias.
Yes.
So,
It's okay.
yeah, I would recommend that people read this. I'm not going to say drop everything and read this, but this is one of the ones that I would have, had we not been doing this, I probably would have eventually read in my spare time. I'm right now in the middle of still working on collecting Civil War, so after that was probably going to be one of the Infinity, either this or Infinity War, so... Yeah, I would recommend that everyone watching read this.
All right, Ricky?
I might shock you guys here.
All right.
Don't read it. Don't read, to me, it's not Peep Show bad. I know you weren't here for Peep Show, Johnny.
No, I
but
wasn't.
It's not Peep Show bad.
None of
where
the
it's
people listening were
don't
here
even
for Peep
buy
Show.
it. I was so excited for that graphic novel or that comic, and it sucked. But this was one to where if we weren't reading it for this, if Infinity War wasn't coming out, I wouldn't have read it. And after reading it, I'm kind of like, really? I had to sit through that? And that's not a good comic to me.
Yeah.
When I'm sitting there going, how much time did I waste reading this? And it's the only reason I say that is because to me, the story was just like, all right, how can we drag this out for 5 issues? How can we drag it out? Oh, the Avengers fight them. Oh, it's kind of cool, but it doesn't matter. Oh, now the cosmic entities fight him. Ooh, that was kind of cool, but it doesn't matter. And then in the end, he's a farmer. Like, what the hell's going on? Yeah. Just don't even waste your time unless you really want to read it, is what I would say.
I kind of feel like, and like I said, I don't consider myself a Marvel super fan, so I don't know how many big events like this happened before the Infinity Gauntlet, like how many huge, colossal, everybody is here type of things. But I feel like this was really, to me, kind of just an attempt at throw it all out there. Let's make something huge happen. And kind of like what I think the movie is. Put everybody into one, and we're going to make millions. And
You mean with a B.
with a
Billions.
B.
Possibly a T.
Billion, maybe trillions.
With a D. We'll make dillions.
Dillions,
It'll be
man.
fantastic.
Has a movie ever made dillions? No, but we're gonna.
I
do
don't
it.
know. They might have. Depends on what a dillion is.
Is dillion really a thing?
No,
it's
it's
not,
not.
isn't it?
Starts with a Q after that, right?
Yeah. Well, actually, that is a thing.
A quillion? It's a
right?
Peter Quillion.
Quintillion, I think.
Quintillion. There it is.
I was going Peter.
Anyways, I'm pretty sure that's like 5 or something. I don't know. But anyways, so I feel like it's very similar to that of just throw it out there. Let's make this huge event and things like that. My recommendation for people, I struggle because I actually am a little bit on Ricky's side of I think it is.
Just don't read it.
I think it's on its own. I think it's a little bit of a waste. If you are a Marvel super fan, you probably have read this already. In that case, you definitely should because it's got everything you could want. Now, the one thing I will put out there, I do feel like it kind of hits that level now, especially with the movie, where it hits that level where it's like everyone should at least be aware. So maybe you should read. If you're a big comic fan, maybe you should read it just to say that you have. Mm-hmm. It's like how you should, go through all those.
I read The Killing Joke just because it's it's one of the tops.
It's one of those things where you're told you're a comic fan, you should read this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like this does potentially fall a little bit into that category. Anybody who's remotely casual about comics, you should pass. You should probably pass on it. Anything that we missed, anything that you want to throw out there right now.
The only thing I'd mention, and this is just me kind of looking at reviews online for it, was there were a few people that the ones that hated it didn't like the art style. The thing I got to say,
but that's very 90s comics.
The thing I got to say to that is this was Marvel Comics in the 90s. Of course, there was one I read that was from 2018, and it's like, this is a horrible artwork. Yeah, well, it's not going to look like it does now.
Yeah. And actually,
this was in the 90s, early
that
90s.
surprised me a little bit. Not because, I didn't really know what year this came out in.
91.
But it just, we have read so many modern ones lately that when we had something that wasn't modern, it's almost like when we read Days of Future Past.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, hey, this is a throwback.
Yeah.
This is kind of a shock to the system.
Especially the Iron Man. Especially the Iron Man.
Oh, that's
because it's the old Iron Man suit of how he used to look in the.
I mean, you even
comic.
have Thor who has a much fuller mask and some of these things you don't expect.
We didn't point that out
different.
either. It's a different Thor, technically.
That's true.
Yeah.
I am not the original Thor. He makes that very abundantly clear.
Vision doesn't have the usual.
He's all gold.
Well, no, he's all
like
white.
A white gold.
Yeah,
color,
he doesn't have the traditional green, red, and yellow. He doesn't have the.
That was off-putting
He doesn't
too.
have the Mind Stone either, which is kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because it's in the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah, I know, but doesn't he need?
He's not going to
live?
have it in the movie either.
Well, he's going to get it ripped out of his head.
It's going to be gone. Spoilers for the movie.
Yeah.
But overall, I am excited to watch the movie. I honestly think I'm going to be disappointed by it. But maybe that's a good thing because maybe
I cry.
Maybe my expectations are low
for you.
For us.
I'll
bring my Avengers tissues for us.
Man.
I don't know. To me, the big moment was Avengers. Mm-hmm. After Avengers, I don't care how many superheroes you put on the screen. I've already seen it.
Yeah.
I've already seen a lot of people.
That was the
at
biggest
once.
hitting one, yeah.
Yeah, to where now I'm just like,
now we kill them all.
Right now, well then actually if they did that, then I'll replace it.
You loved them in 2012.
What if
now we kill them all?
What if
No,
the reason they're not
2002.
saying
Infinity
what
War.
the next movie is, it's because they're like, no, it's done.
Well, no,
we're killing them all.
That's exactly it. I mentioned to you earlier today where someone tweeted out like the second Avengers movie, Avengers 4. They're like, the fact that it doesn't have a title makes me scared. And the Russo's brothers' Twitter account tweeted at them and said it should.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's cheap
Like
talk to me.
Well, the whole
the
whole thing is they haven't released what the next movie is called because it's going to give something away.
Sure, I get that to an extent, but like, talk is cheap. Show it to me. Show me someone actually dying.
I can't wait
because right
for
now, like, unless it's like Avengers 4. You haven't seen any of these superheroes because all the old ones are dead.
Yeah.
Like, unless that's the title of the movie, I don't care.
And the one thing, shameless plug here, I'm going to throw out: you guys going to see the movie check back to the channel that next day, the 27th, our review. It will not wait. We are doing it that night.
Yep.
So the 26th, we're going to record it, and then we're going to throw it up on the channel that Friday.
Yep. And then if you're a football fan, the actual draft.
Yeah, the
I
draft.
almost said
We're
mock
doing
draft.
a draft podcast
The actual draft.
as well.
A lot of things going on
That night
weekend.
is going to be a long night for Ricky.
Yeah, it's going to be terrible.
Took off work that next day, said I ain't coming in.
I hope that you all enjoyed the first episode of the new season of A Graphic Conversation.
Forgot it was the first episode.
We're back.
That's right.
Feels like we're back. Feels like we've been doing this forever.
We had a good guest with Johnny. Thank you for coming on, and we'll probably see you again one of these days.
Probably.
No, this is his last one. He didn't do a good enough. Didn't do a good enough job. Sorry, you're fired.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, you're fired.
There
You're
you go.
fired.
So if you
I'm not
guys
leaving
liked
unless I
it,
get that.
thumbs up, hit the comment button, and leave those comments of what you guys all thought. If you hated our opinions, we were a little negative, I think, a little bit.
I was the most negative, and I didn't mean to be, but it just wasn't that good.
But, so I guess get mad at us if you're there. And hit the sub button so you know what else is going on. Check out the Rick and Johnny podcast, of course, for even more nerd culture type of stuff and movie reviews, all that good things. At Ricky Widmer, at the Mark Weber. Johnny, I don't know your Twitter handle.
At War Machine 9085.
At War Machine 9085.
Not 86, like it was.
Yeah, right? Thank you for that, Ricky.
In the beginning of our podcast, for the best of like a year and a half, it has said War Machine 8096 or
9086.
And nobody noticed.
No one noticed until Johnny a month ago.
Johnny, I've been noticing this going on for about a year now. I just thought I'd finally bring it up. Patreon.com/Most Valuable Podcast. You can get it a week early, so that way you don't have to wait 2 weeks. Unless you're always getting it a week early, then I guess you are waiting 2 weeks, but just 2 weeks that are 1 week early. And mostvaluablepodcast.com so you can get yourself a t-shirt. And we'll see you guys back in 2 weeks. Let me let you know what we're going to read. We're going to read Cable Deadpool Volume 1, If Looks Could Kill. Wade Wilson and Nathan Summers, Marvel's mightiest mutant mercs, are back. That's almost difficult to say. And this time they're stuck with each other. Can two grown men armed to the teeth with deadly genetic weaponry live together without driving each other crazy? Action, adventure, black humor, black ops, face-changing viruses, gratuitous French bashing, and lots. I was thinking French. Other things, kissing, and lots of gunfire, and I was like, hey, maybe that's the way Deadpool's gonna go now.
Ooh la la.
They're here, they're queer, get used to it. And lots of gunfire mark the return of two of Marvel's favorite anti-heroes. So we will see you in 2 weeks when we read Cable and Deadpool Volume 1, If Looks Could Kill.